In a small village called Kataka, there was a very pretty girl named Muna who rejected all the men that came to ask her hand in marriage. Muna wanted someone who was perfect, flawless. If a tall guy came, she wanted someone even taller. If a good-looking guy came, she wanted someone even more good-looking. People of all ages from Kataka and beyond came trying to win her love with gifts and kindness, but none could match the very high standards of perfection she seeked. Rumors of Muna's beauty and desire soon spread far and wide, catching the attention of a group of spirit beings in a distant forest called the Ahum. These spirits possessed the magical power to take and manifest human flesh, especially those of freshly buried humans. Hearing of her love for perfection, they went on a competition to see who will win her heart. One took the form of the richest man who had ever graced the earth. Adorned in precious fabrics that shimmered like moonlit waters and jewels that sparkled like the night sky, he manifested with wealthiness that sought to rival the very heavens. Another chose the form of a man with unparalleled handsomeness. Every contour of his features was meticulously sculpted to perfection, as if chiseled by the hands of divine artisans, and his countenance exuded a symphony of harmonious proportions. Yet another spirit transformed into a very tall figure, exuding an aura of strength and power. His presence commanded attention, and he cast a long shadow like that of an Iroko. Despite their impressive look, Muna remained unmoved. She recognized that true perfection lay beyond mere physical looks, and in addition she sought a connection beyond the superficial. Among these spirits lived Okwulu, a being with a unique power among the Ahum. While the others could only manifest physical forms, Okwulu possessed the ability to weave together not just different physical parts but also the intellectual aspects of the departed souls. Interested in Muna's desire for perfection, he embarked on a quest through realms beyond the living. Okwulu wandered through realms that existed between worlds, gathering the essence of perfection from the departed souls of different noble and virtuous men, collecting fragments of handsomeness, strength, kindness, wisdom, and charm from those who had once graced the mortal realm. With a supernatural caution, he meticulously wove these flawless attributes and body parts into one single human body. As the first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of gold and rose, the spirit of perfection took shape. He emerged from the shadows, a masterpiece, carrying the best qualities of the departed men. His eyes, two pools of profound wisdom, held the wisdom of scholars. The resonance of his laughter, a melodic cadence that hung in the air, echoed not merely with amusement but with the enduring warmth that fathers impart to their kin. His stature, a testament to indomitable strength, mirrored the mighty warriors who had once stood at the forefront of battles and conquests. Muna was going to the stream that morning when the perfect man stopped her. She gazed upon the radiant being before her and felt a surge of emotion she had never known. He captured not only her gaze but also the very core of her heart. With tears of joy in her eyes, she willingly embraced this masterpiece of virtues that defied the imperfections of the human condition, unaware of the towering pile of misfortune that loomed ominously in the shadows. With tears of joy in her eyes, she accepted to marry the perfect man and showed him to her mother and sisters. Blinded by his shimmering perfection, Muna married the spirit-forged man. They settled in a secluded village surrounded by hills and rivers, far from the whispers of Kataka. Initially, their life was filled with joy and laughter. He told her stories of lives he never lived, exuded wisdom of countless brilliant minds, and displayed a sense of humor unmatched by any mortal. But this perfect, happy world of theirs was short-lived. The spirits of the departed people Okwulu robbed soon began to torment their home. Every night, strange, unearthly whispers and voices filled the air, and fearsome, ghostly figures hover around menacingly like white shadows. The voices often asked Okwulu to give back what he took from them. "Give me back my brain, Okwulu. Give me back my intelligence, Okwulu. Give me back my wits, Okwulu." Different voices speaking over each other discordantly. Fear gripped Muna, who cried, often asking her husband what he took from the spirit voices. But Okwulu said nothing. Eventually, Okwulu resolved to return all he took one after the other. He decided to give out the intellectual attributes before the physical ones. Every passing day, he lost one unique attribute after the other, and with each lost, the torment reduced. First, his sense of humor went away, and he spoke less, his once funny words now hollow and flat. His intelligence, storytelling ability, kindness, and many more followed. Then the physical decay began. His once skilled hands became rigid and could feel nothing. Afterwards, his legs, once agile and strong, turned cripple before melting away. Each day, he lost another part of himself, another borrowed piece returning to its rightful owner in the spirit world. One day, Okwulu, overwhelmed by the incessant pestering of the voices, hushed them. "Of what use are these body parts to you? For God's sake, you are all long dead and buried and rotten." Meanwhile, Muna, the once beautiful maiden whose life had become entwined with this spectral drama, lived in perpetual fear. The radiant glow of her countenance had long faded, replaced by the blemishes of warts born from prolonged tears and ceaseless worry. One fateful morning, Mona awoke to a chilling discovery. The once perfect man she loved has become reduced to a mere husk, as she could see only his head on the bed beside her. His eyes, dull and vacant, stared at the rising sun. A ghostly voice echoed in the room, "Give me back my skull." Okwulu, the truth, brutal and undeniable, crashed upon her. Her perfect man was nothing but a vessel, temporary and made up with borrowed parts. As the first rays of the sun cast long shadows, Muna, with tears streaming down her face, made her decision to leave. Leaving the remnants of her husband behind, she fled the valley, the whispers of a multitude spirits chasing her as she ran towards the familiar hills of Kataka. In Kataka, she met their house empty and soon learnt from her relatives that her mother had long passed away. She died of a Lockhart when they came searching multiple times, but failed to locate Muna's whereabout. Her sisters had all gotten married with children. She was very shocked to learn that it had been 18 years already. To her, she had only spent a year and 6 months away from home, but now she knew that a year in the spirit world is worth 10 years in the human abode. In front of the mirror, she confronted the stark evidence of the passage of time. The cruel toll of time had robbed her of the beauty and once youthful body that once defined her. She waited endlessly for suitors to come knocking like before, but no one did. She was pained. By now she ought to be happily married, ought to have finished childbearing, watching with pride and her beloved husband as their children grow into responsible adults. Her crave for perfection had ushered her into a life she was unprepared for. Haunted by the echoes of her past, Muna spent her days living all alone in her late mother's hut, reflecting on the choices she had made. The once vibrant and sought-after woman was now an embodiment of solitude and regret. The village that once buzzed with rumours of her beauty and desires now whispered tales of caution, warning young men and women against the dangers of seeking unattainable perfection, seasons after seasons. The whispers of her past mistakes lingered in Kataka and beyond, a reminder that true fulfillment lies not in the pursuit of an idealized perfection, but in embracing the imperfect, transient nature of life.